One way we know that the problem in the university today is really a numbers problem is that the solution that's already gained considerable traction, the one solution out of the many that are being kicked around, is online teaching, which is all about the numbers. Online teaching has, I believe, and so do a lot of other people, some very, very good uses. Distance learning, like Athabasca University already does extremely well in this country. As a supplement to existing bricks and mortar classes, or as one of the least explored so far, at least in this country, a kind of free public window on our classrooms. I think there's lots of opportunity there. But online courses for our own students are about teaching more with less. Again, pure and simple. Up until now, we have been solving the numbers problem by making our classes bigger. We have run out of rooms big enough to put them all. Architects don't make classes that big anymore. We have a first-year psychology class at the University of Toronto Scarborough campus that has 3,000 students enrolled in a classroom that seats 500 students. You do the math. So what's the solution? Move them online. Because there's no limit in the cloud to how large the class can get. The University of Toronto recently partnered with an American company called Coursera to offer an online course in computer programming that has 85,000 students in it. Students. 85,000 students and one teacher. Now, for now, these are free, non-credit courses. That will, of course, change. Coursera is a for-profit company. It has no reason to exist other than for profit. It will change just as soon as Coursera and others like it get enough universities hooked on the crack that they're selling. Pre-recorded lectures and machine grading are not a substitute for a teacher, for the interaction that is teaching in an office or in a classroom. Students at University of Toronto know this. And their response to the minister, they said, knowledge cannot be achieved through one-sided conversations on a computer screen. And not surprisingly, there is very little evidence that it works. A couple of University of Chicago economists recently did the first major study of increased internet access in the California public school system, mandated by the government, and they spent bajillions of dollars increasing the internet access in the K-12 system. The study found no measurable impact on student learning or outcomes as a result of increased internet access in the K-12 system in California. And the reason for that is very simple, really simple. Access to educational materials is not the same thing as education. American philosopher and teacher Pamela Hieronymi. A set of podcasts is the 21st century equivalent of a textbook, not the 21st century equivalent of a teacher. Every age has its autodidacts, gifted people able to teach themselves with only their books. Woe unto us if we require all citizens to manifest that ability. And please, don't make the mistake of thinking that just because Pamela uses a phrase like woe unto us, that she's some old dude like me. She's 20 years younger than I am. So, for all of the talk about teaching today, I think the thing that bothers me the most about it is that most of it's not by teachers. It's by pundits and politicians and administrators, education experts, including many people who have not been in an undergraduate classroom for years. I am tired. I am tired of having to defend my discipline and my passion using other people's terms, other people's vocabulary. Productivity, learning outcomes, rankings, the pursuit of excellence, the bottom line, those are not my words. Those are words that come from a world that wants everything bigger, better, and faster. And look where the hell that got us. It is very hard for me to see the Bologna process and its North American imitators as anything more than capitalism's next step, maybe its last step. Mining the last resource we've got left, the last natural resource we've got left, this, in the minds of our children. The real value of a university education is, in my mind, that it is or should be the one time in your life that you think and write and talk or conduct a laboratory experiment about something not because it's useful, but simply because you're curious and it's interesting and you want to. The most pernicious consequence of the professionalization of universities is that we have forgotten that universities do not exist to fill our needs. Universities exist to fill our desires and also to create new desires, including desires we didn't even know we had because we never took that damn class before. To those who want a university degree to be about getting a job, I'd say, okay, if you insist, if it must be. But just remember that employers do not hire learning outcomes. Employers hire people, interesting people, people who can interest other people. The value and the pleasure of being a university teacher is that every year we get to introduce our students to a world in which what really, really matters cannot be measured, cannot be counted. That's the world that should be theirs while they're here, and the world that could be theirs after they leave. And that is why I think that despite all the talk, being a university teacher remains both the best job on the planet and the most important job on the planet. And that's pretty much it for me, but I will stick around and be very interested in what you folks have to say. Thank you for your patience. Thank you.